Morning, besties.
No. It is almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Redo that.
Okay, all right. Good afternoon, bitches.
Yes. I don't think it's too late to bring inspiration and positive vibes to your day.
No, absolutely not. You can always restart. We can hit the restart button at any point in time in the day.
Yeah. Although I think it's a little harder to sound like we have our shit together this late in the day. It's really easy to sound like you have your shit together at 8 o'clock in the morning because nothing has come in and pissed you off yet.
Right, yeah, absolutely. Unless you know your kids are driving you absolutely fucking crazy first thing in the morning, which is always a good possibility.
I think we had a pretty smooth morning this morning, but then after getting them off to school, then I decided to go grocery shopping. And just guess how much money I spent.
Oh my god, okay, so with the way that things are nowadays.
Oh, I did a full kitchen restock on all the essentials. I didn't do nothing fancy.
You're broke.
Yeah.
You're broke.
I spent $330.
Ugh. Well, so how much is that going to be? Like, are you lasted for the week?
I'm hoping, like, as far as, like, dinners and stuff, a month?
A month? This bitch said a month.
I'm hopeful. But anyway, this week we're going to have a really different sound because not only are we 2 o'clock in the afternoon and no more fucks to give for the day, but also I am super congested. So you're going to hear me constantly trying to breathe. Oh.
I love the pollen in South Carolina. It's poison.
Yeah, it's basically replacing oxygen at this point.
And I think also you decided that we're going to try to be a little bit more organic rather than scripted.
Yes, so I am throwing topics out the window.
She's going to try to set me up, guys.
Oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry. So now every week Felicia's going to have no clue what we're doing, but I do.
None. I have no idea, guys.
Actually, no, I don't even really know because, we're just going to get into it. Tell me something that has really impacted you this week. Something that you just really want to talk shit about.
I guess we already know, like, I already know what Christina's talking about. I got to put a lot of my patience and what have you to work this weekend when I went up to Christina's job to order dinner, and there was a gentleman there that,
hold on, stop real quick. You were on your way, you were getting in your car and I called you. This is just how the universe really worked for us this week.
All the time though, really.
The server at my job was starting an asthma attack and I called you and you were just getting in your car to come, and you were able to run back in your house, grab that inhaler, and that was just perfect timing, and I just wanted to point that out.
I was headed up there anyway, and she's like, hey, she's having an asthma attack, bring an inhaler. And I just so happen to have all of the asthma shit.
All right, back to your story. At the bar, getting food.
Oh, yeah. So, one thing that I'm learning with healing and just really just taking a step back and trying to get myself out of that control is that not everybody is the same and not everybody is me. And it was a kind of maybe like a small trigger, and I had to work myself through it. So we're going to talk about it. Christina got the opportunity to walk the fuck away from this guy. But
I was only doing my job.
I was not given that opportunity. So at Christina's job, there are some younger children that come with their parents and work there, and that's cool, to each their own.
I love doing it. They get to make a little money and makes them feel all grown up.
Yeah.
And also, it's better than babysitters for them, I
guess, because fucking daycare.
I don't know.
Fuck that. I'm glad I don't have to pay that shit.
These owners have 3,000 kids. And Felicia phones off.
The silence button. I thought. I apologize. So he saw that, and he's an older gentleman. So, anybody knows that that's kind of like a
difference in opinions.
A completely different generation than what we are, and as well as our kids, because our kids are like completely, totally different than this gentleman that was in his late 60s. So he starts to talk about how USA, the United States, needs to start doing what China is doing with their children and make their children work at a really young age and be put in these restaurants and work. That's all that they need to be focused on is working in their education. And being the completely different person, I had to kindly just remind myself that, hey, this guy is from a different time era, and he is entitled to his opinion and his views. So honestly, people like him are like a big trigger for me. Growing up, I had some people in my life that were very matter-of-fact about their beliefs, and it didn't matter that somebody else is not them, and somebody else wants to live a different life than what they believe. They're very matter-of-fact, and if you don't believe what they believe, then fuck you. So that is one of my triggers, and I was able to work through this trigger. And so he's very in my face and telling me about how he thinks that the children nowadays in the United States are basically shit because they're not 6 years old working a fucking register at their parents' business or every day. And mind you, I believe that children should learn work ethic from an early age, yes. I do not believe that it should consume their entire life. I fully believe in children being children and allowing them to be themselves.
Yeah, he's making such comments like they're in there every day, all day. Like, it's once or twice a week, these kids get off of school and they work maybe 2-3 hours while they're waiting on their grandparents to come pick them up.
Right, and it's like, okay, buddy, because he's like, oh, kids need to be in here, and they need to be working, and they need to know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, they're fucking 6, like, let them play with the fucking skateboard. And he's like, well, how are they going to grow up and know about society and how to get all this money and have all, and he starts to tell me about his son. And his son he's got this great business and all of these degrees, and he makes lots of money every year. And I looked at him and I said, is your son happy?
Oh.
Is your son happy?
Shots fired.
Yeah. And he kind of looked at me like, bitch, are you kidding me? Like, and then he starts to again tell me about how his son makes like $600,000 a year and he's got this huge house. And I said, okay, but again, let's go back to this. Is your son happy? I said, because in my eyes, I feel as though whether you have a brand new car or your kids go to this school that you think is absolutely fantastic, or whether you have a 10-bedroom house or you make $1 million a year, are you happy? Because in my eyes, materialistic things can't make you happy. So, of course, it threw him off guard. And then he was like, oh, see, the feelings, that's the problem nowadays, is everybody's feelings and all this other stuff. That's where Christina got to walk away. That's pretty much like everything that we're about is with the gentle parenting and understanding your triggers and working through them. He's the kind of guy that's like, mash it down, don't show emotion. And we are like the parents of, yeah, my 17-year-old son is allowed to fucking cry. Are you kidding me? Yes, he's allowed to show his emotions. If he wants to throw a fit because he's upset about something, fine. We're going to embrace that moment. And he was not having that shit.
Wait, you actually said that to him?
No, I didn't say exactly that. Okay. I did remain, calm and just reminded myself that this guy is from a different era. And, things are different. And then Christina, somehow we got on the conversation of the PlayStation and stuff like that. What was he saying?
I can't remember how like it all went down, but basically it ended in him getting up and walking away saying, "Oh, technology's ruining kids these days. That's the problem with kids these days."
Right. But then he started talking about also about how when he grew up, the kids were basically forced into this life of physical work, you know, walking uphill in 7 feet of snow
Uphill
on a
both
bicycle
ways.
with one tire. With a broke fucking leg and your neck is all tweaked up. You walk to fucking school. Okay, Jerry, sit down. So he was talking about that, about how back then, you know, 50 something years ago, that's how it was for them. And then I said, well, you know, understanding that the world does evolve and that if we were to be stuck in that same time era, then what's the point in living? Because the point of living is to evolve. And if you don't change day to day, minute to minute, year to year, then what the fuck are you really doing? So I said to him, you know, nowadays I really feel as though kids were pushed and shoved into technology. And yeah, a lot of the technology was here before COVID, but when COVID happened, what happened? Our kids got pushed into it, where all they do now, everything is on the computer. Everything is on the tablet. So these games and all of the learning stuff that they're doing in school, it's all video games.
Uh-huh.
So it's kind of like, okay, like let's break you out of this little shell and understand, you know, that times are different, dude. And we're not going to just hang out in this old shit.
Yeah, I remember like while my kids were... they were out for a week for COVID because Bella had tested positive. And I saw them playing some kind of game. And I'm like, you're not supposed to be playing a game. You're supposed to be doing your schoolwork. Oh, this was our work assignment today.
It's all video games. It really is. So
where was that when I was a kid?
Right. But like, and also to him, when because he thought that your husband didn't make anything of himself because he loves to play the PlayStation. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, James is a great person. He works a good full-time job that he's held on to.
He's a hard-working man.
Right, and it's a physical labor job. It's not like he sits around and plays with his dick all day, you know? So, and he's a good father to these children, and he's a good husband. You know, why is it that people have to morph to your idea of a good person?
Mm-hmm.
You know? So, yeah, it was definitely testing. And because him and I were completely, totally different people, and he did ended up getting up and walking away. It wasn't a hostile situation. I felt okay at the end of it, that we kind of both looked at each other and was like, well, you know, we can't move forward in this conversation because we don't have anything the same. And
I do have to set in the disclaimer that this man is one of my regulars. And he's like a dad to me. I love him dearly. And he's a great guy.
Yeah.
But boy, is he old-fashioned.
And it's okay sometimes to be old-fashioned. It really is. But also having that mindset that not everybody is you is something that people really need to hold on to. Especially nowadays. Like, everything is so different. And everybody is so different. Mm-hmm. And, like, understanding, because one thing that I battled with before was the need to control, and it's control, like, what I envision somebody should be like.
It's just like I heard somebody yesterday that me and this older man were laughing about all last night about these two people who you could tell were super duper, like, opinionated politically.
Mm-hmm.
They said, I don't mind people, it's stupid people I don't like. And I go to this man, not the one that said that, the older man, and I said, I feel like his version of stupid people is anybody who, like, doesn't agree with his opinion.
Exactly. Yeah, because I was just fixing to ask, like, what's his opinion on stupid? Like,
Right.
Well, he might look at us and think we're stupid because we have bright, colorful hair and we look like coloring books.
Mm-hmm.
But then we might look at somebody else and think, oh, you're stupid because you're bland,
You're too boring, you're stupid.
Right. Yeah, so that's something that's really hard, is understanding that the world does not need to conform to your thoughts and your vision of things.
Don't be stupid.
I just think stupidity is being exactly that, is being, this is how I want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
This is how everything should be.
Yeah.
And it's not. Everything is as it should be.
Being narrow-minded.
Yes, very much so. I run into that quite often. And that, like I was saying earlier, like a lot of that is triggered because, just growing up, a lot of it was, this is how I want you to be. And this is what I expect of you. And now I'm learning that, no, I'm going to be myself. And I'm going to allow my kids to be themselves as well.
I'm so glad you're doing all the talking for me because I am struggling over here.
So you don't have anything? Like, you've never had anybody, like, standing somewhere just, like, really trigger you? I mean, especially with, like, Adrian, like, having Adrian out, a lot of the older generation, they're all about hit him.
Oh, my God. I get that so much, especially, like, from some of my regular bar guests who are very old-fashioned. When Adrian got suspended for trying to hit a teacher, which I think I mentioned in our last episode. And somebody said, oh, he just needs a good boot in the ass. No, he doesn't.
Right. Like, I don't know. Like, I hate that people just go immediately to that. Like, can we please understand?
But then be like, violence is not the answer.
Right.
Is it?
Right. What are we teaching them? Like, really, what are we teaching them? That every time somebody does something wrong, the answer is to hit them. So whenever you get older and your wife does something wrong, and maybe it was an accident, maybe she didn't know how to regulate her emotions at that moment, your response is going to be to hit her. That's just the way that I see it. We got to model that
I think that's the scenario in which I would hit my child. Try me.
No.
So that was quite an interesting controversy just for while you're trying to get some dinner.
Right. It was, things like that happen all the time. And I'm just thankful that, two people were able to agree to disagree, and that was it. It was fine. Everything was copacetic at the end.
I had a much simpler conversation with him yesterday. For some reason, we were talking about how we don't talk religion or politics at a bar. That is like a number one bar rule.
Yeah, no.
You don't talk about those kind of things.
And sometimes, depending on the people, you don't talk sports either.
Right. But me and him started getting on the topic of how tolerant we are or not tolerant, accepting of other people's religious views.
Right.
So he was a Pentecostal preacher for 20 years. And I was Baptist, so we kind of related on the whole, like, really strict guidelines and stuff like that. But he also knows that I'm more spiritual now,
right.
And he's a foul-mouthed construction worker. So, I mean, we were able to have that kind of a conversation. So he's really a great guy.
Yeah.
I love him. He's one of my favorites.
And just because, he's got different views.
Even though he drinks the cheap vodka.
Hey, you know what? You gotta do what you gotta do.
Ew.
I get the Great Value brand too.
Great Value.
I need all the Great Value. I don't do the name brands. I can't do it.
Great Value
expensive.
tequila.
Can I get the Great Value gas right now? Because
I'm not liking that. I would rather buy groceries than gas right now.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, it's absolutely insane. And it's so hard for families that are really struggling to survive right now.
Yeah, when I first got my car, I could barely put $20 worth of gas in it. That was about 2 years ago. No, year and a half. And I went to fill up the other day. It was almost 40.
Oh.
Yeah. I cried a little.
I know. Mine this morning was really shitty as well. I had a quarter of a tank and I stopped to fill up and it cost me $63.
Ew, gross.
Yeah. So I was making life decisions at the gas pump.
Oh.
Am I going to eat lunch today?
Is it going to be gluten-free?
Because gluten-free is so expensive, like this gas.
Oh.
I'm about to ask, is the gas gluten-free? Because as much as I'm paying for this shit.
Can't make me laugh too hard because my lungs are hurting.
Yeah.
My knees hurt from that fall I took the other day. It's been almost a week and my knees are still... Don't try and step over a baby gate if you're barely over 5 foot, okay? Like, that is the biggest words of wisdom that I can offer. Just don't... I did it with my hands full too, so I didn't even try stopping myself.
She said just going down.
I was trying to save my phone and my water bottle, which both could have been thrown across the room and been perfectly fine.
Hell no, I'm still making payments on this damn phone. Take the knee out. Are you fucking kidding me? This insurance deductible is $150. Take the fucking knee out.
It's bad when your phone's more expensive than your knee.
I'll be like,
emergency room visit was cheaper than my phone. I don't know.
She went straight down, right on concrete, in the garage.
And then this was like 10 o'clock at night, so less than 12 hours later, or no, about 12 hours later, I have to go into work and work a double, which definitely did not make it any better. I'm hobbling through, and everybody's like, should you even be here? I'm like,
bitch, you gotta pay for this gas.
I gotta pay gas.
You fucking kidding me? And this phone payment. Oh my God. Mm-mm. You know what's great? Like your kids, like getting a taste of society and like the real, like what's going on. And Damien yesterday, he's like, Mom, I had to stop and get gas. And he was like, I thought that I was paying the phone bill at the gas pump. And I was like, yeah, bro, like.
And he's only got a tiny little Ranger.
Yeah, he's got a little tiny pickup truck. But yeah. And then we're having to fix all these parts in his truck. And and then his, he said to me yesterday, when we were talking about getting his truck fixed, I said, well, you need to go in there and get the oil change at the same time. He said, well, let me hurry up and do that too. He said, get my oil change in here before my oil change look like the light bill. I said, oh my God, everything.
While we're talking about financial distress, I feel like we should probably go ahead and mention that we are listener supported. And you can find that on Anchor FM. We are Manic Moms on Anchor. And we are also available on Spotify and, as always, YouTube. Also, just cash at me like $5 for my next gas bill. If 10 people do that, that's a half a tank for you, Felicia.
It's going to cost us $37 to meet up every week. So I'm going to need you guys to help us out. $37. That's what I feel like.
You feel like $37?
Yeah, I feel like $37 could be it.
I feel like I'm about $22.73 right now. Between my bum knee, my lack of oxygen, and this weird pain that I keep getting in my arm. I'm falling apart today. I feel like we've really been true to our name today. Manic Moms.
Yeah, you kind of got to be like manic sometime.
I think we should stick to recording afternoon because I feel like we're so full of shit at 8 o'clock in the morning, being like, everything's fine. We've got it together. No, it's 2 o'clock. I'm ready for a shot of tequila.
I think the listeners maybe would want to hear the real manicness. I mean, we could talk about some manicness. The other day, I just completely went manic, and everything that I wanted to get done on my list in my head had to get done right then and there. Let's hurry up. Let's do this. And that is, it's a great feeling, as you're going through it. But holy shit.
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting. It really is. And that's something, that I know I struggle with personally, as far as, mental disorders and, becoming manic is the ups and downs of it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. It's so crazy. That's why it's great to have people around you that understand. They get it.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Cool. That's fine. Oh, we're doing this right now? Okay. Oh, we're about to take a nap? All right. Oh, we're back at it. Here we go.
I think once a week I call you and I'm just like, this was emotionally draining or mentally draining. I've not done anything today physically, but I need a nap.
Right. This is it. I'm done.
I think that was my line of the week this week was just, I wish I could separate my emotional and mental energy from my physical energy.
Ugh.
Because if something drains me in one area, I'm done for the day. I'm not doing anything else.
Right.
I'll be trying to call my kid's dad hey, can you go to the bus stop today?
I know. We should definitely normalize that. For sure.
Normalize passing off pickup.
Yeah. Your turn. I wish.
So I think I really like the direction this new setup is going. What do you think?
Yeah.
Because I was actually told we sounded too scripted, which we totally were. We were trying to fit within a topic, and then it would take us 3 hours to record one 30-minute episode because we couldn't stay on topic. So who needs a topic anyway?
No, that's fine. And then everybody else can pretty much relate.
Yeah. Also, I don't think we sounded actual manic anyway. So welcome to the real world of manic. So I guess we'll go ahead and do some credits and links and stuff. So we can be found on Facebook. We now have a Facebook page, Manic Moms, no spaces. And like I stated earlier, we are listener supported on Anchor FM, and we're available on Spotify and, as always, on YouTube. And credit for how amazing we sound, aside from this week with my congestion. I don't think Chris can even fix that, but he is the audio engineer that works so much magic on our behalf. And you can find him and support him on SoundCloud at Vanilla Carrot. And I promise you have to listen to Soapy Potato.
She's not going to let this go.
No, I love it because to me it sounds like a combination between a Chevy and Harley commercial, and listening to it makes me feel like a middle-aged man riding down some really long highway with ape hangers to the sky, my long white beard just a billowing in the breeze.
Yes, feeling free as the wind.
Yeah, I mean, that's really how that song makes me feel. So definitely please go check that out. And do you have anything else you'd like to add, my dear?
I don't think so. I think, we covered everything for the day.
Awesome. Well, then in that case, stay manic.
Stay manic, bitches.
Nailed it.